What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Logistical Response, and today, once again, it's Saturday, covering some debates, and we're going to get into the muck. We're going to get into all kinds of stuff on this one. Everything from the Supreme Court decision for presidential immunity. Yes, I know, it's kind of an older debate, but I couldn't find any newer debates, more recent debates, so we're covering something from a couple of weeks ago. So, presidential immunity. All the way to the damn Olympics with their mocking of Christians. Let's go ahead and get into it. You gotta love the arrogance of Destiny on this one, to speak upon something as if he knows everything about the underlying subject matter when he really doesn't. Let's get into it.
No one's really talking about that part. It was SCOTUS had sent it back to the lower courts. They didn't just rule on it blindly.
That is completely and totally not true. This is misrepresented by conservatives so much. Okay, so there were 4 different actions that the court spoke about. Roberts ruled one of them is qualifying for absolute immunity. This first bucket of things that he's created, by the way, none of these things have existed historically. There are other things now. All of the other acts are presumed immune, meaning that the state, or the government in this case, has to bring a reason why they should be able to probe these actions in a way that will never damage the executive's ability to operate in the future, which encompasses all of the other actions that are spoken about in the Supreme Court case. The reason why they remanded some of that to the lower court was for the lower courts to now have that argument over the presumptive immunity. Criminal immunity has never existed in any size, shape, or form for any politician in this country in the history of the United States. And the idea that a U.S. president, that we came from a rebellion against a king, that our president is now criminally immune for performing his duties, why would we ever assume that he needs that type of immunity?
That's not true.
It's true.
When was the president immune for criminal immunity?
There's a process for
I don't even know. Wait, when was the president immune from criminal immunity?
There's a process for when a president commits a crime, and that process is outlined in Article 1.
I'm sorry, what is that process?
Look.
Hold on. No. Impeachment has nothing to do with criminal liability.
So when a president,
with all due respect, you have no idea what the structure of our government is. I'm so sorry. Okay, impeachment is a political process that you use to unseat somebody, and once they're unseated, you can prevent them from holding future office. If you listen to Benjamin Franklin, for instance, talk about impeachment was created so that you didn't have to either assassinate or fabricate criminal charges to remove somebody from office. Impeachment has nothing to do with criminal liability. The maximum conviction sentence you can get for being impeached is just being removed from office and prevented from taking seat in future office. That's it.
No, it's not.
All right. Let me just, I just want to move on.
Once again, like I said, you gotta love the arrogance of Destiny coming out talking about, oh, the conservatives always misrepresent this, and then he goes on to completely misrepresent what is going on here. Okay, the Supreme Court decided that, yes, presidents have criminal immunity. They didn't just make that up. That's been in the Constitution. There is a mechanism in the Constitution for when presidents commit crimes, stuff that they shouldn't do. It's called high crimes and misdemeanors. It's called impeachment. And guess what? If that crime is egregious enough, you get impeached, you get convicted in the Senate, then you come out of office, okay? Now you have zero presidential immunity. Zero immunity whatsoever. So now the lower courts, the prosecutors, can go after that person for that crime. As long as the statute of limitations hasn't passed, they can definitely go after the president or the former president, whatever you want to call him at that point. They can absolutely do that. Now, have they done that? No, because nobody has ever decided, hey, let's go after a president for official acts while he was president. Nobody's ever done that because they know he's immune. Now we get Joe Biden and the Biden administration constantly overturning court decisions, constantly just going against the grain, destroying judicial norms in this country. Now they decide, hey, let's go after this guy because we can. Yeah, they just decided because we can. Because we have the rule of law on our side. So let's bring it down upon Donald Trump's head as hard and as fast as we can. It's outright insane. Yeah, there's never been anything like this in history because nobody's ever done this. It's insane to do this. They've disrupted our entire political system by going after Donald Trump. The Constitution clearly states in Article 1, there's an impeachment. This is the process to get to criminal immunity if they have high crimes and misdemeanors. I'm sorry, Article 2. My bad. Yes, Article 2 lays that out quite clearly. And you gotta love Destiny. It's like you have no idea how our system works. No, dude, that's exactly how the system works. Just because it's never been done before doesn't mean that's not what you do. We've never gone after presidents before because they've never committed high crimes. Right, like, we impeached Bill Clinton. It wasn't for any crime, like an actual crime. They are going after Donald Trump for bringing lawsuits, for crying out loud, against the election because the Democrats changed the rules and laws without notifying the other side of what they were doing. So Donald Trump sees all this and he's like, what the hell is going on with this? Let's challenge this in the courts. And now they're going after Donald Trump for challenging legitimately in the courts. And he failed on a lot of those challenges. So now that he failed, they're going to go after him for it. They're going after his lawyers. They're going after the slates of electors, for crying out loud. These are people that have nothing to do with it. They're just the slates of electors. They're there in case he wins his court cases so we can take out the electors, the fake electors that were certified, and put in the correct electors. It's just absolutely insane to me that Destiny is acting so strongly like he knows exactly what's going on here, but he's forgetting the underlying substance of Article 2 of the Constitution. That, yes, impeachment, then you convict them in the Senate, then you go after them criminally. It's just never been done before because nobody has had the brain thought to go after a former president for legitimately challenging the results of an election. And that's what they're doing. And they got the corporate press is backing them right on up, saying, yes, let's do it. And let's twist the facts. Let's twist the narrative and spin our own narrative into this, acting like nobody has ever challenged the results of an election before. It's outright insane. But let's keep going and see what else we got.
Check this white dude thing. Do you feel comfortable with this?
No, I don't think it's good politics. And I don't think it's necessary at all. So let's stop playing identity politics. Kamala Harris and the Democrats don't have to say, hey, you should vote for her because she's a black woman. Everybody already knows she's a black woman, so don't worry about it. You should let the Republicans play identity politics, and when they attack her for being a woman, which they can't help themselves, they do nonstop, then the Democrats gain. And when they attack her for being black, then the Democrats gain. So stop all this stuff about racial stuff from the Democratic side. Let the Republicans do it to their detriment.
Okay,
Republicans
Destiny,
have never attacked her.
How worried? Okay, Officer Tatum, respond to that first, and I'll come to Destiny.
No, I think it's superfluous conversations being had. The Republicans have never attacked her for being a woman. They attacked her because she's incompetent. And that's the argument that has been going on and on and on. She's an incompetent person. It doesn't matter if she's a woman. It doesn't matter if she's black. Nobody cares. The fact of the matter is she's a failing vice president. She's terrible. She was terrible when she ran for president. She's terrible as the vice president. She adds no value to the political realm. She has no conversations about what she can do to better America. The woman is just literally selected as the VP because she was a black woman by the Democrats. And that's not going to bode well when it comes to the policies that people need to see to make a difference in America. Nobody I know is supporting Democrats now because Kamala Harris is in position of power.
Okay, well,
Destiny,
Elon Musk.
Yeah, see, he's doing it right there.
Hang on. I have a specific question. Elon Musk actually reposted on X a doctored video featuring Kamala Harris. Her voice had been doctored by AI. Let's take a look at the clip first of all.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist.
Now, a number of issues from that. One is, on one level, it's just quite funny. It's a joke. It's a parody. But secondly, that video has now been seen 128 million times on Elon Musk's X account. He said, this is amazing, with a laughing emoji. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, told Musk to take it down, to which Musk replied, I checked with renowned world authority, Professor Sugondi's nuts. And he said parody is legal in America, which is a typical Elon Musk response. Destiny, you're not laughing. Did you not find any of this funny?
Keep in mind, no.
You gotta love Cenk Uygur coming out right here saying, well, let's let Republicans play identity politics. But Officer Tatum does a really good job of telling Cenk Uygur, no, this is what's going on. We're not attacking her for this reason. We're attacking her because she sucks. But that's what Democrats do. Democrats, like Cenk Uygur's like, yeah, we're not going to play identity politics, blah, 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 blah. But that's exactly what they do. Anytime any of their candidates get attacked, that's exactly what they do. Oh, they're just attacking them because she's a woman or a woman of color or a person of color or blah, 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 blah. No, they're not looking at the substance of what's actually going on. We're attacking her because she sucks, not because she's a woman, not because she's Indian, not because she's black, none of those things, because terrible policy leads to terrible outcomes in this country. And the last 4 years, we have seen terrible outcomes in this country. Look at what the economy is doing right now. It's crashing, as a matter of fact. But they love to do this. They love to conflate the two things, right? They can't say we're just attacking them genuinely on their own defaults. They've got to go to, oh, it's a woman, because that plays on your emotions. And this is exactly what they love doing. These people will manipulate the crap out of you constantly. They will manipulate you into an emotional argument when they're removing the substance essentially from the argument and just infilling that with emotion. Yes, let's play on their emotions, because emotions are much stronger than logic. Logic is just, plain, right? Logic has no emotion to it whatsoever, and we are emotional creatures. Look at me. I'm kind of hyped up right now. I'm kind of getting into it. Like, what is going on? But this is what they do. This is what they love to do. And they just can't back up their actions, because, no, we could care less what her color is. They're constantly saying, oh, Republicans are attacking them because of this. No. So, hang on then. When are we not attacking them for something? They'll never admit to that. They'll never say that, oh, this is a genuine attack. Yeah, we need to genuinely criticize this person. They never do that. They always come out and say, well, this is just a personal attack. It's BS. Everybody freaking knows it. That little parody ad that came out, that was funny. It's really funny. But the Democrats got way bent out of shape. Racist! Like, Cenk Uygur is the best at this. Oh, well, you were just a racist! Blah, blah, blah. That's what he does. It's insane. He doesn't do it here, but we've all seen Cenk Uygur just fly right off the handle. Oh, well, you want to be a racist? You want to talk about? Go ahead, you're going to be a racist. It's insane, bro.
Hang on, Brandon, hang on. The thing is, Cenk, you're missing the point. The point is not whether you would find a joke funny or not about Muslims. It's the fact that the Olympic chiefs would never have authorized a skit mocking Islam and the Prophet Muhammad in the way that skit mocked Christianity and Jesus Christ. And it was interesting to me to see the reaction, actually, from Muslim groups, including one of the biggest Muslim groups in Egypt, where their leader came out and was as emphatically critical of what had happened on behalf of Christians as any Christians were. So this was something where I think leaders of all faiths around the world went, even if it's not us, this is just gratuitously offensive.
It's the idea that it's the best comparison that's always done is
hold on, let me answer that.
Hang on, Destin, I'll come to you after
let me just answer that real quick. So first of all, I don't care about the Olympic Committee, and I don't believe that anybody's going to watch swimming or not watch swimming because they were offended by some sort of skit. If we're talking about which religion actually has power, are we kidding here? So Christians in Louisiana and other places are actually passing laws saying that the kids have to be indoctrinated with Christian propaganda. So there is actually people that have power in this country, and it is definitely not Muslims, it's Christians. And by the way, we're talking about getting offended. As now an atheist, people say that we're going to burn in hell. They say the most offensive things about us, and we don't sweat it. You know why we don't sweat it? Because we know we're right. If you guys knew that you were right, then you wouldn't sweat it either. But you actually are nervous about it because you don't think you're right. That's why you take so much offense at people saying their opinions about your religion. And that's true of all of them.
All right, Destiny, fine.
Now, I will agree with Cenk on something right here, is that us as being free speech advocates, yes, we shouldn't, we can come out and say, yes, we're offended by this, but hey, if they want to go ahead and mock Christianity, go right ahead. Let's go ahead and mock them in return instead of getting offended and saying, oh, well, we should deny all this. We should blah, 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 blah. Just go off the rails talking about. But if we're going to be free speech advocates, we need to allow them to do that. Yes, I don't care. Yes, that was slightly offensive to me. I'm a Christian. That is exactly what they did. They tried to backpedal because they knew they were wrong, Chink. He's trying to say, oh, we know we're right. No, you don't know you're right. And to address some disinformation that came from Chink's mouth right there, talking about indoctrination with Christianity values, he's talking about the 10 Commandments poster that is now law in Louisiana, that they have to put a poster of the 10 Commandments in every classroom. Just put it on the wall somewhere. Has nothing to do with indoctrination. They don't have to teach the 10 Commandments. It just has to be in a poster on the wall. Kind of like we put flags on the wall. Kind of like we put other things on the wall, other posters of other stuff that we teach on the wall. There is no law. He's outright lying about that, and Destiny's going to do the same thing on the next clip. But I do agree, Christians, you want to get out there and be offended by that? Sure, speak your mind. But also, in the same breath, if you don't want to get attacked for trying to go after free speech, let them know, hey, that's their right to do so. They can mock Christianity. How about let's put something together mocking them outright, just in response? How about let's do that instead of getting bent out of shape over it? Hey, they don't believe in Christianity. Hey, that's on them. For real. Let them do their thing. We can preach to them. We can tell them, look, this is what you're doing. Go and try to sway them. Hey, just how about read the Bible? And if they don't want to, then you can't force, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. They might not be thirsty for that water just yet. But you know what I mean? Let's if we're going to advocate for free speech, let's advocate for free speech and allow freedom of expression to reign, right? Let's express ourselves in response instead of getting bent out of shape over it. How about that?
Final word to Destiny.
Something that should always be kept in mind is conservatives always play this game, and Piers, I think you do it sometimes too, where people will say, well, look at this person in power and what they said. Okay, well, what if we compare that to what these random people on Twitter said? Why the comparisons, right? This guy was a commentator for the Olympics, and whether you agree or disagree with women participating in sports or not, the fact that you would allude to people doing makeup when these are some of the most athletically competitive women in the world doing their competitive events, I could imagine a lot of people would view that in really bad taste. I understand that and say, well, what about these random people on Twitter making comments? How is this even a comparison? Like, they're not going to be fired from anything because they're not working for anything. Just random people on Twitter. And then again, this idea of like Christians being so mad that Tommy's over, I'll never watch the Olympics because one still from like an 8-hour opening ceremony offended me as a Christian. And it's like, are we forgetting that? I mean, forget what Jenk said about people trying to have the 10 Commandments be, in courthouses and whether or not religious education or whatever should be mandated, all this. Forget that. The president of the United States in the last term, Donald Trump, literally ran on banning Muslims from coming to the United States. He wanted to ban Muslims from coming. He had a conversation with Giuliani where he said, how do I ban all Muslim immigration? None of this is, to be clear, none of this is even contested.
Destiny,
he went with the 7. He went with the 7. No, I live in the real world. I hope that you conservatives join us one day, please.
Muslims.
He absolutely did.
He's going to ban Muslims from America.
Conversation Muslim ban. There's a reason why
Put some money on it. He did. Put some money on it, Destiny.
Go look it up. Go read it. Go read it.
We can do a bet
look it up
right now.
Go look it up.
Let's bet right now. You say you'll ban Muslims from America.
I'm actually
Muslims nations that weren't banned.
Look, I'll say one last thing. For conservatives, Trump never means anything he says. He says, let's ban a complete and total ban of Muslims. And they go, no, he's just joking. He's lying. He's crazy. He's stupid. Don't ever believe anything he says. Then why do you guys like him?
Did Obama ban Muslims?
No.
Donald Trump went on the same list for banned countries as Obama. Trump went on the same list as Obama's list.
He's just
why did he say it, brother? He said it because he wants you to hate Muslims.
What Donald Trump said, fact check, okay, by a true patriot. Welcome to this fact check. Obama had a list of 7 countries that were under heightened scrutiny for surveillance for people that visited the United States. Donald Trump initially wanted to ban all Muslims. That got shot down as an idea. So instead, he took that list of countries. He took the 7 countries that Obama had under heightened scrutiny for immigration or visas, and he decided to ban those 7 countries instead. So the idea that Donald Trump used the same list that Obama did.
It is actually, hang on.
Once again, with the disinformation, they know they're lying here. They know that they're twisting the facts. What Donald Trump was actually trying to do, he was trying to ban travel from these 7 countries because they're terrorist hotspots, and he didn't want terrorists traveling into the country because there was a terrorism alert going on. They had intelligence saying that there could be an imminent terror attack, blah, 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 blah. You get it. It was shot down anyway. Donald Trump never outright said he wants to ban all Muslims because we have millions of Muslims in the country. But they know they're lying. They know it's disinformation. They know what they're spouting is just not true. It's just not factual. But they just love to take that and twist it around. This is what the Democrats do. And this is why I don't understand why people are so hardcore Democrat, knowing the corporate press is lying to them, knowing they're being manipulated, right? And not to say Republicans don't manipulate their own constituents, because they most certainly do, just not nearly to the extent that the Democrats do. The Democrats do it, almost on every freaking thing, right? Sometimes they tell the truth, but it's only to serve a political purpose. That is the only reason. It's because they'll tell the truth when Republicans do bad things, right? Because Republicans do bad things. But they never tell the truth when the truth is neutral or when the truth is skewed to one side, right? It's only when it's skewed to this specific side that they'll tell the truth. And then sometimes they'll embellish that and push it way too far. But this is just what they do. And this is why I will never side with the Democrats on hardly anything, because they almost never tell the truth. Democrat politicians, at least. And they lie outright to their constituents. The corporate press is full of left-wing activists. We do have some right-wing media, of course. And they lie too, as a matter of fact. But hey, that's what people like me are here for, to point out the truth. Like I've sided with Cenk Uygur on something, saying, Christians, hey, if we're going to be free speech advocates, maybe we should be free speech advocates and just say, hey, look, that might be offensive, but it's okay. Go ahead and do that to your own detriment if that's what you believe. Then say that. Don't get bent out of shape and say, we want to force an apology or blah, blah, blah for, the Olympic Committee authorizing mocking of Christians. It's kind of insane. But hey, if that's what they want to do, if they want 2.4 billion Christians not to watch the Olympics because they decided to mock Christianity, let them make that decision and let them lose that revenue. Because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to lose a lot of revenue from advertisements that advertise, because that's what a lot of their funding is based upon. Yeah, sure, they get funding somewhere else from other places, from countries, blah, 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 you get it. But they make a lot of money from advertisements because a lot of people watch the Olympics, and they're going to lose a whole hell of a lot of money, right? They're going to lose endorsements from a lot of these sports companies that are Christian. But hey, if they want to do that, let them do it. Let them destroy themselves. But they do make a point, the blatant hypocrisy. They would never authorize a similar scene mocking Muhammad, for crying out loud. They would never do that. Never ever do that. And that's the blatant hypocrisy that we're talking about. That's where we're getting that from. And we're just happen to be pointing that out. While at the same time being offended, some people got outright offended and lost their freaking mind. And hey, if you want to do that, go right ahead, but it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for conservatives at all. It doesn't look good for Christians either, because now you're just going against your own base morals for free speech, for crying out loud. But hey, if that's what some people want to do, let them go right ahead and do it. Hey, I'm all for free speech. If they want to say something stupid, say it. Own it, though. Make sure you own it. But I think I've went on for long enough on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.